Week 6, Lesson 4. Okay, so this formula that you're looking at is to find the sum of an arithmetic series, right? So you may have a list of numbers, but this is going to help you to find what they all are added up. All right, so I tend to start almost every single problem by writing out the formula so that I know where to plug stuff in. Okay, so here we go. This is telling me that the first term is 5. This is telling me that the last number in the list is negative 51. And this is telling me what n is. It's telling me that n is 15. So here we go. The sum of the first 15 terms, that's 15 over 2. The first term was given to me. The last term is given to me. And if I just do some simple arithmetic, break out my handy dandy calculator, I should get negative 345. Now, that is the sum, right? I found the sum of the series, but I haven't finished answering the whole question. It also says to find D. All right, well, this formula doesn't have a D in it. So I'm going to have to go back to the formula that we had in the last lesson. Okay, so in this formula, I'm going to use negative 51 because that's the number that I have in the list. I know the first term is 5. I know that that negative 51 now, actually not now, but it was given to me that it's the 15th number in the list. Which, let's see, if I subtract 5 from both sides and combine some like terms, we get a difference here of negative 4. All right, here we go. The first term of an arithmetic series is negative 7. The fourth is 23. The sum of the series, holy crap. Okay, so let me write some stuff down. The first term is negative 7. The fourth term is 23. And the sum of the series is 689. But I don't know how many numbers there are. Okay, there aren't 4. So let's see. How am I going to do this? And I have 2 formulas. Let me write the 2 formulas that I know. Okay. So let's see. I think I'm gonna start over here and see if this will help me. I have a number that I can use. I can use 23. It is the first number in the list plus n minus 1, and I know that it's the fourth number in the list times d. Okay, so at least I'll know what d is. So let me do this. Let's see, that makes 30 equals 3d, so the difference is 10. Okay, if the difference is 10, then using this formula and plugging in the first term and leaving n alone, negative 7 plus 10n minus 10, I can find any number in the list by using that formula. Okay, so now I should be able to come over here and hopefully plug some stuff in. So let's see, I know the sum, it was given as 689. I don't know what n is, right? That's what I'm trying to find out. I do know the first term. And then this is any number in the list. That's where I'm going to plug this in. 10n minus 17. Okay, so if I multiply both sides by 2 and combine some like terms and then distribute, and set it equal to 0, and then maybe divide both sides by 2 to make the number slightly smaller, and then factor, all right, if I'm lucky enough to know what numbers work. And I mean, come on, I'm not some sort of mathematical genius. I worked this out earlier. If you can't come up with these numbers, then you're going to have to do the quadratic formula. Okay, so you end up with these 2 possible answers. Okay, the fraction doesn't work. You can't have like this isn't a position in the list. This is definitely a position in the list. Okay, n has to be an element of the positive integers. Okay, you're going to start to see some notation like this. All right, let's move this up. All right, hopefully last year you did learn a little bit about sigma notation. This one is arithmetic, and we can tell by starting to plug in some numbers, right? I can plug in I can plug in 1, and then 2, and then 3, and then 4, all the way down to plugging in 28. This is going to take a really, really, really long time, but I just want you to see a couple of them. If I plug in 1, I get 1. If I plug in 2, I get 6. If I plug in 3, I get 11. All right, and if I plug in 28, right, to get this last number, I get 136. Okay, so now I can use that formula, the sum of an arithmetic sequence, u sub 1 plus u sub n. Here we go. I'm going to be finding the sum of 28 terms. 28 over 2, 1 plus 136. Breaking out the handy-dandy calculator, we get 1918. Okay, so I also want to show you how to do sigma notation on your calculator, because it's a very powerful tool. So if you hit second, alpha, and window, you'll get this pop up on your screen, and you want option number 2, right? Because option 2 looks like sigma notation. So let me hit the number 2. And then you can start just plugging in exactly what you're seeing on your paper. So we need a variable. On our paper, it's an n. We're just going to go ahead and use x. Like if you push this button, it's going to put in an x. You can change it to n if you really want to, but it's just so much more work. I'm going to hit a 1. I'm going to scroll. It's going to put my cursor somewhere else. So up at the top, I want 28. I'm going to hit to the right. And here I want 5x in our case, because we changed the letter to an x, minus 4. And it will give you the sum. All right, and here we go. The sum of an arithmetic series is given by. Okay, this is interesting. Okay, so this is saying if I plug in 1, that should be the sum of the very first number. So when I plug 1 in there, I get 1 times 2 minus 3, which is what, negative 1? Okay, so keep in mind, there's like a list of numbers. The sum of the first one is negative 1, which then means, oh, okay, I get this. The first term is negative 1. Okay, now if I plug 2 in, and I get 2 times 4 minus 3, which is 2. That means that these two numbers added up have to equal 2. Okay, so can you see then that this has to be a 3? Because if you add those two numbers up, it adds up to be 2. Okay, so if this is arithmetic, I can now tell what D is. I know what the pattern is. It's adding 4. So I've answered this question. And then it wants the first 3 terms. So if I add 4 again, here's the next term.